Hi, my name is Martin Schuessler, and it's my pleasure to present to you Gazing Heads, Investigating Gaze Perception in Video-Mediated Communication. This is joint work with Luca Hormann, Raimund Dachselt, Andrew Blake, and Carsten Rother. Video conference meetings are notably different from face-to-face interactions. Non-verbal cues, especially gaze, are harder to perceive because users are shown from the perspective of a single camera. This makes turn-taking difficult, and these meetings are less immersive and engaging, and overall more tiring. We present a concept that addresses these limitations by adding head rotation and gaze correction to video conferencing. Gazing Heads places users in a virtual circle and rotates their head when they change their gaze. Each user sees the conversation from their own unique perspective. Take this example. This user is looking at the woman on the right. From her perspective, the user is shown from the front, making direct eye contact. The person sitting across from our user sees it differently. Here the user's head is slightly turned, clearly showing that he's looking at the woman. For the last group member, the user appears turned away, with only a side profile visible, just as it would be in real life. There are three major ways to add gaze awareness to virtual meetings. Augmented or virtual reality solutions track the user's gaze using a head-mounted device and then translate that gaze upon an avatar. Multi-camera and multi-screen solutions show communication partners in different locations, and then they capture real head rotations using those cameras. But these approaches introduce hardware requirements, and that's a considerable adoption barrier. Image synthesis approaches, on the other hand, can be used for gaze correction on the live video of a single camera, as shown here. They can even generate head rotations, and that's why they served as the main inspiration for our work. Let's briefly review related systems. The first four systems use multiple cameras for frontal gaze correction and a specific spatial layout of displays for head rotations. An exception is Gaze 2, which rotates 2D images. So we don't need multiple displays, but still multiple cameras. And head rotations are not very realistic. The need for hardware limits how many people can join a conversation. Here we show the number of displays and cameras you need for each workstation. The first system in the next category is Gaze Chat. It uses image synthesis for eye contact correction, so a standard laptop is all you need and can scale beyond 4 users. But it does not convey head rotation, so gazing information is partially lost. And Gaze Chat does not support live video. It only uses gaze-corrected profile pictures, so facial cues like smiling or head nodding, that's all lost. We take a different approach. We propose using image synthesis on live video by placing users in a circular arrangement. This greatly benefits gaze awareness and is far more engaging and immersive than any tile view layout, including that introduced by Gaze Chat. Some related systems were evaluated in this study. The most relevant is the one with the Hydra system, and our study extends its design. We will also compare results to the Gaze Chat study. We believe image synthesis will achieve our vision, but to avoid current limitations, we simulated it with cameras. The simulation is quite sophisticated and described in detail in the paper, but for now, here's a quick overview. Each workstation is equipped with an eye tracker and 7 cameras. 2 cameras capture the user from the left, 3 above the screen track direct eye contact and small head movements, and 2 capture the right side. The system selects a camera view based on where the user is looking, ensuring that each conversation partner sees a different perspective. We used our simulation in this study with 20 groups of 4 people. Each group used gazing heads for discussion of a controversial topic. They also played a survival game where they had to agree on which items to bring to a remote island. After both tasks, they filled out a questionnaire rating various aspects of their experience. The same participants used the TOCHI'24 system, which was similar to common video conferencing tools. Here we only used a single camera, no head rotations, and separate virtual backgrounds. Participants continued playing the game and had another discussion, followed by the same questionnaire. They completed another questionnaire directly comparing systems. The experiment then concluded with a group interview to provide qualitative insights on their experience. Results clearly show that participants preferred gazing heads over tiled view, in most respects. Gazing heads was considered far more engaging, and it made perceiving the attention of others significantly easier. From the questionnaire and interviews, we confirmed that head rotations made users' gaze and attention more perceivable. They helped participants realize when they're being looked at and made it easier to gain others' attention. Taking into account the results of Hydra and gaze chat studies, we conclude simple gaze correction without head rotations, as done in gaze chat, that's not enough. You need head rotations to convey attention, either real ones, as with Hydra, or synthesized ones, as with our system. Gazing heads made virtual meetings also feel more engaging. Some participants even felt social pressure to stay involved because the attention signals were so clear. Here's how one participant put it.
Also wenn man will, dass alle Leute sich an der Diskussion beteiligen, muss man dieses System nehmen. Ja. Weil du wirst einfach gezwungen, dabei zu bleiben.
This contrasts with prior studies that did not report an improvement in engagement. So what's different about gazing heads? It automatically translates gaze into head movements, without users having to do anything. In Hydra, they had to actively turn their heads. In gazing head, we get frequent head rotations on a single screen placed in central vision. This makes attention cues highly visible. Using a semantic differential in our questionnaire, we also measured a significant increase in social presence. In interviews, many participants described feeling closer to others or having a more personal experience.
For me, this one feels like you guys are closer somehow.
Yeah, it's like more warm feeling, as we spoke earlier. It feels like we're in a shared room rather than just having a screen in front of us.
Design choices matter too. Many appreciated the consistent circular arrangement of people, while others felt that the separate backgrounds in the tiled view made it clear that they were not in a shared space. This leaves an open question for future research. How do virtual background impact presence? But how did the conversation flow? Our speech analysis showed no significant differences in turn-taking for 10 out of our 11 measures, similar to the Hydra experiment. But when asked directly, 51% preferred gazing heads for turn-taking, and only 19% preferred the tiled view. Participants said that gaze awareness helped them to know when to speak and to address others more directly. So what's wrong with our measures? Our speech analysis detected differences between tasks, but not systems. Perhaps current metrics are not sensitive enough to detect the improvements that are introduced by gaze awareness, or maybe alternative measures are needed. All it's just in a subjective experience. But what if you don't want to engage? In our simulation, participants were always shown facing someone, even when they weren't really looking at anyone. Some explained that made them feel watched and could make them uncomfortable. They asked for ways to disengage without drawing attention. So an improved version of gazing heads could introduce a neutral focal point, like a table, or gray out disengaged users. But be aware, these solutions might reduce engagement and weaken mutual eye contact, which are key benefits of gaze awareness. Since we conducted our studies, image synthesis technology has improved significantly, and we invite you, the community, to bring our concept to life using them. However, some key challenges like issues with graphical and behavioral realism, as well as latency, remain. And we discussed those in the paper. For now, I will leave you with these fully virtual avatars created by a startup where one of our co-workers, Luca, now works. Thank you for your attention and interest in gazing heads. For more details, read our ACM TOCHI paper, published in 2024.